Hello everybody, my name is Brian Joyce and I want to welcome you to Finland. Gulden has asked me to talk just a few minutes about my experiences in Moodle as a virtual learning environment. So what I thought I'd do is share with you a little bit about my use of Moodle and how it links with the rest of the applications available in our university. The university is Häme University of Applied Sciences, HUMC, but my experiences go back in teaching to the 1970s, and I did have a 6-year spell working online with the Open University in the UK, where they started to employ Moodle around 2003. Now, if I share my desktop, um, Moodle is a platform that fits into our university at the very center. Now, if I can tell you a little bit about where Moodle fits in our university. Now, remember, Moodle or any other virtual learning environment is often not chosen by the teacher. And very often it is not a pedagogical choice. It may be, but not always. A university may say we are going online. We will create this marketing showroom that we have the technologies in place. And then very often the teachers and the learners come second. Now we've chosen how can it be used. So my advice to institutes is always find somebody who can bridge the gap between teaching and technology. I don't know what you want to call that person, maybe an educational technologist, but someone who can put pedagogy into technology throughout its implementation. Now I have made this site, which you can connect to soon. I'll give you the link on how to get there. But you can see here that this is a chart that includes um, social media services, virtual learning environments, and other um, smart technologies available to our university. And we've put them in some kind of order. This onion, as we call it, because it has many skins, starts in the center. This blue part really represents the quality assurance, the administration, and the learning process of technologies that have been, let's say, put into service for all teachers and staff, support staff in our university. Uh, Moodle is there. So Moodle is central and robust, and we need to use Moodle because we can link it to other services that fit into our quality assurance and administration. So for example, Moodle is linked to our enrollment process. Moodle is linked to our grading process. From this particular process, we can link to what we call Urgund. Urgund, and I'll show you a little bit later, is a plagiarism piece of software. We have a license to it. So all official written tasks, assignments, and theses are sent to Urgund, and we will get a report back on whether the article has been plagiarized or not. But we do this prior to grading, which means that in the process of writing and drafting and finalizing a thesis, Urgund is there to help the students, not catch them out. So if we find that something has been plagiarized, then we give the report to the student and say, you still need to make these corrections before we can accept your final thesis. We have Office 365, where we share documents. This is for booking, making schedules, booking rooms, Peppi. This one here is for all students' names and grades and final documentation when they leave. This one is linked to Moodle, Kuvut. It is an e-portfolio where the students throughout their 3 or 4 years in the university can keep a record of what they have done, not only the hard things like grades, but also the competences and experiences that they have had. The interesting thing about this is, as a student, once you join, you are there forever. So when you are working, you can still go into Kuvert. You can also download a version, so you can then adapt it according to the needs and requirements of seeking a job. It also includes an assessment of language levels too, through the European framework. All these are username and password protected. These must be used. Then outside that, you get other services that are username protected, or we have subscriptions, and there are certain rules and regulations. WebEx, this is what I'm using right now, video conferencing system. Then YouTube, students put their videos and projects into YouTube. Wiki, of course, you know, and Skype, which is built into our system as well. Then beyond that, it becomes less protected, but these are services used from outside of HUMC. And here, I think most of these are used, and there are rules on proper use. Dropbox, Blogger, WhatsApp, Facebook, Prezi, Google, Instagram, Twitter, and so on. And then beyond that, we have a testing process, bringing certain things into the fold, into the group. So this is how it looks, and so it is Moodle we are going to look at. Now, one example of how we use Moodle is in projects. Here's a project called the Trade Fair Project. Our students are studying mainly bachelor degrees and these students are using Moodle to develop a project where they form a company, and they are going to present the company at the end of the project at a trade fair, at an exhibition. And they will invite outsiders, companies, teachers, and other students to come to their stands. And there will then be a feedback process where each stand is peer assessed, and they will then award first, second, third prize for the best products. Of course, all degree programs are welcome, and everything is held in English. So this is one goal of this, to be able to fit into the work life competences, to work in a team, to run a project, to negotiate, to be able to hold meetings, to be able to give presentations, to embark in a process of small talk and discussion and explaining, all necessary for their future careers. And then they turn up with real products. So this is what the students have to do. They're developing entrepreneurial skills. They're developing a product. They're improving sales techniques, presentation skills, and so on. This is an archive of previous trade fairs and photos. The instructions are here. Then we come to topics. So Moodle is based on topics, and you can arrange them in any way you want. But these are the instructions with links, and the first one here is company internet sites and profiles, so examples of what they can do. The information about the project itself, how to build a business card, which they're going to use in the exhibition, how to develop a brochure, how to make a company poster, and then what to do at the trade fair. Now this is a part of a blended learning process where they will go into Moodle, get all the information, but they will meet face to face in their lessons, and the lessons can be held in different campuses because there are different degree programs. This means that this Moodle site is a hub where different degree programs can enter and have the same information, have the same instructions, and practice the same skills, but they then go away and they're meeting different teachers in different campuses. So the rationale, one rationale for Moodle here is, of course, distance and a centralization of quality and standards towards a trade fair project. This course, Research and Development Skills, this was done in 2013. This Moodle course were set out to solve a problem. You see, students have to do this course, which is 3 credits, so that they can go on to do their final thesis. However, at the same time, they are on internship. They are in companies working. So they're not all of them are able to come to the lessons. So we have a parallel course here, totally online or partly online, all in the same course. So those who can't come at all are told to do certain topics, and those who do come can miss out certain topics. We use instruction and video and forums. Now, the first topic is how to organize using our system, and then the forum here is what they have to do, and they have to then leave a message. Topic 2 is how to find a commissioner, and those who can't attend the lecture, I had pre-recorded one of the lecturers on short videos, how to find the topic, how to find the commissioner, what if the topic is too simple, what is good literature, when do the research questions, and this is about the very basics. When do the research questions, so when do you make the research questions? They watch all 5 and then they need to make comments on what they find interesting, what they knew, what they didn't know. In our university, a thesis is an applied thesis. You go to a commissioner, a company, and the company has a problem, and the commissioner in that company will say to the student, solve this problem with the skills that you have. Then it has to be solved. So it is very pragmatic, very applied. And it goes on. Topic 3, how to structure your thesis, my introduction here, and then the key lecturer then talks on the board. It's very simple, just a camera and recording. And the beautiful thing is that this lecturer has made these lectures every year at the same time. And I said to him, why do you need to make the same lecture every year? Why don't you record it? Then you can go off and spend more time with the students in groups. So these lectures were used for at least 4 years. And the work I put into it paid off in terms of students being able to access the lecture. Normally you go to a live lecture and then it's done. Here they can listen to parts of the lecture many times so that they fully understand what they're doing. They can revise and revision. So towards the end of this, we videoed students who had finished their thesis and were giving final presentations. So I recorded the students giving final presentations so the new students can see what the whole process is like. So in this case, we have a process that solves the problem of students dropping out and having to come back the next year and not being able to finish the course because they were working and not being able to take the course. This actually saves time and this saves money. And it also saves time in another way, that the lectures are recorded and the students can watch them in their own time. This course we did for Kazakh teachers who came to Finland, and Gulden was one of them, the Bolshak writing in English. And this is supposed to be done in their own time. So it's not done in the classroom. They could do it in the evenings or after going home. And here they went through the basics of writing, informal, neutral and formal English, emails and the basics, blogging, reports and structure. And this included information and tests. So for example, topic 2, very briefly what you're supposed to do. Then the to-do list, number 1, download and read the phrases. There's number 1, download and read. 2, the quiz, and there is a quiz. So the quiz is related to the language. So it would be choosing the formal phrase. Could you? So what would be the formal phrase? So I was wondering if you could, and you would go through this, being able to define the difference between informal and formal, because in report writing and thesis writing, we insist on scientific writing, so that, for example, um, contractions like I'm or your or he's is not allowed. So they need to get into the framework of how to write more formally and what it consists of. And this is just one quiz to actually test that. Now, one that we're doing just now has a totally different format. It's academic research writing, and we are using Moodle, and we're using the format of Moodle called SNAP, S-N-A-P, which means that all the topics are at the top, and you just click here and you will see each one coming up. This is quite nice and quite easy. And again, forums, videos, and other quiz activities. Now you have this one, this one, this one, and this one. All 4 are taught online courses. All right, the student is never alone. There is feedback. Feedback is important to learning. Now the feedback can be given face-to-face if you're using Moodle with face-to-face lessons. So asynchronous with contiguous synchronous. But if it's totally asynchronous, then it's most important that the teacher is online, goes into the forums and gives feedback and gives criticism on how to develop. It's the same with the assignments that they do. There must be feedback given, not just a grade, but how to develop. And I tend to give feedback in 3 different ways. I read what they've done, I refer to what they should have known, how they have applied it now in this assignment, and then what they need to do to go forward. So it's like a timeline. Now this can be given face-to-face generally, or it can be given in small groups, or it can be given online. Now this takes time. So when you do your Moodle, when you design your Moodle, be careful of the time trap for the teacher. You can, of course, employ peer-to-peer assessment, but if you do that, your students need the criteria on how to do it, and you need to teach your students how to accept a peer's feedback. Okay, now one of our teachers from Brazil, Giselle Costa, she uses a virtual learning environment, but she has a problem of a poor wireless system in the school, and so she has a backup. Nearly everyone in the school has a mobile phone, smartphone, and so those who don't, because some of them are very poor, they can't afford one, she got funding so that everyone could have one. And what she did was she used the QR code generator. What you do is you go to QR code generator. You've seen these QR codes, and you can then paste and create QR code, and then you download it, and you can print it out. So for example, those of you who are watching this now, if you have a QR code reader in your smartphone, okay, there, you just put it up and link to it and it will find the website. And what do you find? You will find this one. It's golden. And here I have said, hello everyone, I have a question. And this question is for you. What smart technologies do you use that really work for you and your learners? Type them on this page. Tap the page or double tap and a text box should open up. There you are. So when you go to this page, you can write something. And when the conference is on, I shall come in and see if you've typed something. This is Padlet. And Padlet can work very well on the move. You can actually print out QR codes. Excuse me. I have them here. Different QR codes for students, and they can go away and use these with their smartphones. And it can take them to Padlet like this, where there is one question. And with their mobile phone, they can consider the question. Think very, very carefully. You see, some students are not good at answering spontaneously in the classroom. Some can very, very quickly, but there are others who need to think. And Padlet and Moodle give those kinds of people the opportunity. You often find that those students who need time to think can often give very, very rich answers. So with Padlet and with Moodle and with QR coding, you can give them continuous tasks while they're moving, while they're traveling home, for example, while they're coming to school. They can think about something. How does that help? Well, if they've thought about it, they are ready to engage in the debate or the discussion or the action that you want them. This could be a part of what you call flipped classroom. You don't need a lot of content. You need to tap in to who they are, what they know already. Tap into their prior experiences and prior knowledge. So we have QR coding. The teacher I told you about, Giselle da Costa, she actually pastes these on the classroom wall, forms groups, and they will go to each one where it will take them somewhere. They have to do something and discuss. And then at the end of that 20 or 30-minute session, they'd come back to their groups and carry on with the lessons. So they are active all the time. The other one here, this one will take you to my blog, where I talk about CLIL, Content and Language Integrated Learning, which is using language in a subject-taught lesson. Kazakhstan, I know, does this, where you have trilingual, bilingual lessons. The students are learning foreign languages all the time by doing something. This will tell you about CLIL, tell you about my experiences in Africa and in Brazil, and it gives you some resources about CLIL itself. This is Urgund, linked to Moodle on plagiarism. I'll put this link into here. Okay, so you can see it. That's a very brief look at everything that I wanted to tell you. I hope it was useful. It was quite long. I think Gulden asked me for 5 minutes, so she'll probably have to just show a little bit of this. But I wish you all the best, and good luck in your endeavors in the future.